It's a deeply different kind of story, one that revolves around a girl named Melinda, who's trapped in her own fears and suffocating loneliness. A girl who is willing to do anything, literally anything, to fill the hollow space inside her chest. The movie is called Burn, and as the title suggests, it ends with everything engulfed in fire. Not just literally, but emotionally. It begins on a lonely road, with Melinda driving alone, quiet, withdrawn, and distant from the world. As she parks near her small store, she catches a glimpse of another car where a girl and two boys are laughing and enjoying their ride. That 1 second hits her like a bullet. Why is she always alone? Why can't she have that kind of joy, those kinds of people? She wants what they have, even if she has to change herself to get it. She stops at a gas station where she sees a man smoking and, hoping for a moment of connection, asks if she can join him for a cigarette, but he refuses. Hurt and frustrated, she snaps at him for smoking at a gas station, a dangerous place, and he angrily pushes her away. Alone again, rejected again, Melinda walks into her store where she works with a girl named Sheila, her complete opposite. Sheila is stylish, arrogant, loud, and always trying to make Melinda feel small. She mocks her, belittles her for being late, and calls her boring. Just then a customer walks in, headphones on, looking cool and mysterious. Melinda is instantly drawn to him, but he doesn't even notice her. Her heart drops. Later, she's cleaning the back washroom when another customer enters, asking to use it. She politely steps aside, pretending she was just finishing up. While cleaning, we catch her scrolling through random photos of boys on her phone. It's obvious, she craves connection but not friendship. She longs for intimacy, for someone who might desire her, who might see her as attractive. Her loneliness is so raw that it drives her into habits, like smoking just to feel something. Outside, Sheila practices dance steps while sipping coffee Melinda brought her. Sheila playfully offers to teach Melinda some moves, and for once, Melinda says yes. But as they dance, Sheila sneakily starts recording a video of Melinda's back, mocking her without her knowledge. When Melinda finds out, she's hurt and asks her to delete it, but Sheila refuses and treats it like a joke. Their argument is interrupted by an older male customer. This man too barely acknowledges Melinda but sweet-talks Sheila instead. He tells her he came last night and noticed she was limping, so he brought foot pads for her. Sheila becomes furious, embarrassed, and yells at him to leave. He does, quietly. Melinda follows him outside, desperate to at least have a conversation, but he brushes her off like she doesn't exist. And again, she's left standing there, unheard, unseen. Every rejection burns a little more inside her, pushing her closer to a breaking point, as her desire to feel loved and wanted keeps pulling her deeper into emotional chaos. The story unfolds with an intense and eerie atmosphere as we see a new character, Billy, walking toward the store. A young, stylish guy who immediately catches Melinda's attention, making her visibly excited. She eagerly approaches him, introduces herself, and tries to make a connection, clearly hoping he might fill the deep loneliness she's drowning in. Billy, appearing calm and casual, introduces himself too, but before their conversation deepens, a police officer named Lou arrives and the moment tenses. Lou walks into the store, unaware that Billy is actually a wanted thief, deep in debt to ruthless bankers. Billy pretends to be shopping to avoid suspicion. Melinda welcomes Lou with a forced smile, while internally she's thrilled by his presence. She's secretly taken pictures of him before, and often stares at them to feel some sense of closeness or meaning. Sheila, sharp-eyed and sly, notices Melinda obsessing over Lou's photos and sarcastically tells Lou to check her phone. Just as Lou begins to approach, he's distracted and leaves for another task. The focus now shifts to Billy, who suddenly reveals his true purpose. He's there to rob the store. He warns Melinda and Sheila not to act smart and demands all the cash. When Sheila tries to resist, he becomes aggressive and fires a shot into the counter, terrifying Melinda. In this terrifying chaos, Melinda sees something else, a twisted opportunity. She offers to help Billy steal, thinking this act might earn her a place beside him, might end her unbearable loneliness. She grabs a bag, fills it with money from the back lockers, and gives it to him, her eyes full of desperation and hope. Soon, new customers arrive and Sheila cleverly writes help on a bill receipt, but Melinda catches it and angrily tears it up, her loyalty now frighteningly aligned with Billy. After the customers leave, she pleads with Billy to take her with him, but he refuses, warning her that his life is dangerous and filled with deadly people. As he tries to leave, Sheila hurls an insult at him. Enraged, he attacks her violently, drags her to the restroom, and brutally beats her. Melinda, now deeply scared but still obsessed, prepares coffee and takes it to them, only to see the horrific scene. She pours the hot coffee on Billy and knocks him unconscious using a fire safety tool, then tapes his body and cleans the blood, still with the secret intention of leaving with him. In a chilling turn, she tapes Sheila's body and hides it, showing no remorse, just singular focus. As Billy regains consciousness, Melinda ties him to a chair and begs again to take her with him. He refuses. Desperate, she blocks his eyes and mouth, trying to convince herself he might love her. She even crosses a shocking line, removing her clothes in front of him in an attempt to eliminate her own emptiness, trying to force intimacy, showing how deep her mental breakdown has sunk. She later tends to his burns, offers him water and medicine, hoping he'll change, but he collapses again, exhausted. Melinda, broken and sobbing, finds a bag filled with money and returns to the store, only to find a customer knocking on the restroom door. She's locked it from inside. The customer enters, unaware of the horror hidden behind the doors, and begins shopping. Melinda, overwhelmed by everything, contemplates shooting herself, but breaks down in tears instead, unable to go through with it. She barely acknowledges the customer and asks him to leave, too numb to function. Moments later, a new character arrives, Perry, Sheila's boyfriend, who loves her deeply. He sees Melinda crying and asks about Sheila. Melinda, sinking further into her delusions, lies and says Sheila ran away with someone else, clearly still holding on to the fantasy of escaping with Billy. The story is a haunting spiral of psychological collapse, where Melinda's desperate hunger for love and companionship pushes her into irreversible madness. She is so overwhelmed by loneliness that it consumes her completely, but Perry refuses to believe her story. He insists that Sheila could never betray him like that. Melinda desperately tries to convince him, and little by little, Perry starts to trust her words, especially when he notices Sheila's phone lying on the ground, something unusual because Sheila never lets her phone stray far from her. This discovery makes Perry suspicious, and he questions how Sheila could have run off with someone else. Melinda struggles to come up with an excuse for the phone, finally claiming Sheila was with another guy who wore a jacket just like Perry's. Perry, determined, picks up the phone and rushes out of the store to find Sheila, while Melinda anxiously stops him, worried her lies might be exposed. She tells him to promise to call her as soon as he hears from Sheila, and Perry agrees, confessing how much he loves Sheila and that he can't live without her. Meanwhile, Melinda heads toward the restroom, where Billy lies unconscious, and Sheila, terrified of Billy, slips out of the store to find something for her safety. Far from the store, Sheila searches through the dirt and finds a stick she intends to use for protection, but on her way back, a group of bike riders arrive claiming they want to search the store. Melinda denies anyone entering and tells them to leave, but these bikers, actually bankers, dangerous men feared by all, grow suspicious when they see Melinda. They try to enter the store, but Melinda tells them it's closed and blocks their way. The bankers scan the area for any sign of Billy, but he remains locked and unconscious inside the restroom, safe from their sight. One banker attempts to enter, but Melinda grabs a stick and throws it at him, warning him it's useless, which frightens the group and causes them to draw their guns. The tension rises, but fearing the police will arrive if shots are fired, they decide to leave, threatening to return soon. After they leave, Melinda feels a wave of sadness and begins to cry alone. Later, we see her preparing for something important. She picks up the stick again, attempts to break something inside the store, buys supplies, and makes bills as part of her plan. Outside the store is a petrol station, where Melinda secretly fills 2 bottles with petrol. Unnoticed because no one else is around, she carries the bottles back, smoking a cigarette while mentally gearing herself up for whatever dangerous act she is about to commit. What once was a cowardly, timid girl now shows signs of courage and resolve, carefully planning every step. At the same time, Lori, a police officer searching for Billy, arrives at the store where Melinda is busy with her preparations. She sits down and suddenly spots Lori nearby, becoming visibly anxious. Melinda quickly hides a petrol bottle behind her hand, not wanting Lori to see it. Lori notices her nervousness and asks why she looks so troubled. Remembering that her gun is still lying on the counter, Melinda fears Lori might suspect her, so she stealthily pockets the gun. Lori then begins to question her more closely, launching an investigation into Melinda's suspicious behavior, as tension builds around what she might be hiding. Batanda tells her a story that just half an hour ago a suspicious man came into the store and did some shopping, but Melinda questions how anyone can call him suspicious because he didn't seem like a threat. She searches everywhere, even the back area and restrooms, but finds nothing, leaving her worried about where Billy might have gone. Lori meanwhile grows increasingly tense seeing Melinda so distressed and hands her his card, telling her to call him anytime she needs help, which she agrees to, promising to keep him informed if anyone comes near. In the next scene, as Lori leaves, Melinda locks the store again and, with the petrol bottle she had opened earlier, pours the fuel over Sheila's body and the area outside the restroom, soaking the entire store in petrol. During this, her gun slips and falls into the fuel, making it wet. She drenches every corner of the store with petrol and tries to flee, grabbing the money bag she stole for Billy, but just as she attempts to open the door, it locks and jams, the lights go out, and darkness consumes her, leaving her terrified and hearing a noise, Billy's voice, since Sheila is already soaked in petrol upstairs. The story reveals how a lonely, isolated girl is pushed to do things she never wanted to, driven by emptiness that turns her fear and cowardice into a fierce courage, making her face dangerous bankers, Lori, Perry, and others with bold lies, because all she wants is to escape this empty life. We then see what happens with Billy, as Melinda warns him to stay away because the whole store is soaked in petrol, and if he touches anything flammable, he'll burn. Outside, Perry returns to the locked store but cannot get inside. Cleverly, Billy sneaks out from the back door, which he locks from the outside to keep Melinda trapped inside. Billy then approaches Perry and tells him that Melinda did not kill Sheila but tried to burn her. Perry shouts at Melinda, ordering her to raise her hands and accusing her, but Melinda denies everything, insisting she is innocent and that Perry is being misled. Perry, heartbroken and furious because he loves Sheila deeply, tries again to search the store with Melinda, but during their confrontation, Billy seizes the opportunity to strangle Melinda with a petrol pump hose. A fierce struggle breaks out, and Melinda becomes terrified as she realizes Billy's madness has no limits, and now her life is in danger. In a desperate attempt to save herself, she calls Lori, using the card he gave her, begging for help, unsure of what to do next since Perry might be dead already, and the chaos around her grows more dangerous by the second. Billy's fear completely vanishes as he breaks down the locked main door of the store and forces his way inside, while Melinda desperately hides, terrified about how to escape Billy's wrath because she knows he will take the money bag but never take her with him, and would surely kill her, fueling her deep fear and emptiness that drives her to go to any lengths, just to fill that void. Suddenly, Billy's eyes catch the gun soaked in petrol. When he picks it up, he notices it's wet, but Melinda warns him not to fire because it will ignite the entire store, since the gun is drenched in petrol too, yet Billy ignores her and starts trying to destroy the place. Melinda offers him the bank money to leave, but knowing from Sheila's previous silence that Billy had already killed her, she refuses to let him go after all he has done to her, reminding him how he tried to kill her by throwing coffee in her face, hitting her with a fire extinguisher, giving her drugs, binding her, and promising to take revenge forever. Overwhelmed, Melinda breaks down crying, waiting only for Lori's help to arrive and save her. She pleads through tears that if they both want, they can escape together, begging him to take her away, but Billy, furious, declares he won't spare her life anymore. As he fires the wet gun, Melinda ducks just in time because the soaked gun catches fire first, burning Billy's hand and forcing him to drop it, which sets the whole store ablaze. The fire quickly spreads, trapping Billy too, preventing him from escaping or getting the money he wanted and leaving Melinda safe, but injured. She stands in a safe spot, but her legs catch fire, so she sprays them with a fire extinguisher to stop the flames, though her wounds remain fresh, and her legs tremble as she sits waiting for Lori, still hoping he will come to rescue her. Flames rage inside, but Melinda manages to get outside near a broken glass window and sits beside a car, hearing sirens that bring a slight relief that her life might be saved. Lori arrives, helps her into the vehicle, checks if she is okay, and immediately informs his whole team to control the fire. While Melinda apologizes for lying to him earlier, Lori just smiles at her, knowing,
"Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the explanation, please like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. See you in the next movie explanation. Stay awesome."